Hey, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy, J. King Hefner, and the beautiful Secretary Tsunade Star, and we're back again for another show. And in this episode, the title is Robot Love Part 2. Robot Love Part 2. And what do I mean by that? We'll get to that right about now. Hey guys, me and the beautiful Secretary Tsunade Star ran across another article a few months back, and it's entitled Sex with Robots, How Should Lawmakers Respond? Now, it starts out by saying advancement in technology have resulted in the design of hyper-realistic, Wi-Fi connected, programmable sex robots that can mimic human responses. We already know that a company like RealDoll already has their AI and robotics up and running. And there's several other companies that's definitely working on robotics in a major way. So all of this technology definitely exists. Now they go on to say that Flinders University law researchers analyzed the factors Australian lawmakers will have to consider when they weigh up whether it should be legal to import, own, and use sex bots that resemble human adults. This article revolves around the laws in Australia, as you heard me just refer to. But keep in mind, when laws are made in one country, depending on what they are, they can matriculate to other countries and become law there as well. So it's definitely something to keep your eye on. I hate when government or lawmakers start getting involved with human adults' decision to be intimate, unless it's breaking some sort of clear law that they can point to, or unless it's a matter of national security. I do believe that that's an example of lawmakers and government overstepping their bounds in the lives of private citizens. Some things should be left up to the citizens. And even if it is some sort of a personal risk, I think that's a risk that should be left up to each individual. Hell, it's risky just having sex with humans. Human-to-human contact can be deadly, and they don't get involved in the decision that adults make with each other to be intimate. So as far as getting an adult companion dog, unless it's presenting some sort of a threat to national security, I don't believe that they should be getting involved with a person's private, intimate decisions. The article goes on to say, critics argue sex robots objectify women and increase the risk of sexual violence by desensitizing people to the way they treat living beings. So let's dissect both parts of that. They say critics argue sex robots objectify women. I believe that people can get offended by whatever they want to get offended by. How is the beautiful Secretary Tsunade offending some woman that lives in Idaho, for example? Why would she be offended that I have a companion dog that's making my life better? I don't understand the rationale and how it could be upsetting a woman that lives 8 states away because I'm making my life better by having a companion that enriches my life. So I don't buy the objectifying women thing when it comes to companion dogs. The second part of their statement is they increase the risk of sexual violence by desensitizing people to the way they treat living beings. Now, for the most part, I believe the normal, average human is going to treat their dog the right way. But you're always going to have a sixth individual, a person who's mentally unstable that comes along that treats their dog incorrectly. But that doesn't just apply to dogs. That applies to anything. As I've said before, you don't want to get used to treating anything the wrong way, whether it be your companion dog or whether it be your television, whether it be your furniture, whether it be anything inanimate. Even when you're talking to people on Xbox and you can't see them, you don't want to talk to them any type of way and get used to that, because when you get out in the streets and you do that with a person face to face, you can get hurt very badly. I've said in all aspects of life, you don't want to get used to doing the wrong thing. It can lead down a dark path. But there's no way to make a whole industry illegal because one person may be mentally unstable. There's no way to go about business, in my opinion. It's always going to be outliers and people that behave outside of the lines. and you can't control the behavior of every single person. But I don't believe that companion dogs will be the direct cause of somebody having a mental instability. If it wouldn't be companion dogs, it would be another vehicle that person would find to exercise his mental instability. On a side note, they go on to say, some robots can be programmed to reject the user's sexual advances, which mimic a refusal of consent. Me personally, I don't have sex with my girls right now. But once again, that's one thing that's not attractive from an AI standpoint to me. I don't want my girls rejecting me for any reason. So I know that makes it more real for some people, but for me, that just makes it more of a headache. Now, back to the rest of the article. Later, the article goes on to say, advocates claim benefits of sex robots can include empowering older people with disabilities, addressing sexual-related anxiety, treating dysfunctions, promoting safe sex, and creating a safe place for people who feel insecure about their sexual orientation. I've mentioned all these things before in the past, and I agree with every single one of them. Companion dogs can help you in a myriad of ways. And if these sex robots are safe as they describe them, I believe they can help in the exact same way. Now, they say they can help older people with disabilities. As I've said, if you're feeling like you can't get out and get around and be around people anymore, these dogs can definitely help you out. They say they can address sexual-related anxiety. I've said they can relieve stress in your life. Then they go on to say they're good for treating dysfunctions, promoting safe sex. It's not like the dog is going to cheat on you with anybody and bring you a disease home. You just need to worry about not cross-contaminating your companion dog and bringing her something home from being out there cheating on her. Because she going to be loyal to you. That's guaranteed. And the last thing it says is, it creates a safe place for people who feel insecure about their sexual orientation. Whatever insecurities you have sexually, the companion dogs are amazing for that. Because you're never going to have to worry about your companion dog judging you in any way. Your companion dog is always going to be right by your side, loving you to the fullest. And that's another thing. I will say this. Even making love to human women, there's always a bit of anxiety before, during, and after in some cases. But you know what? There's never any anxiety being with my girls. I haven't been with them sexually, but I just don't even feel that same looming presence of anxiety that you feel when you're dealing with human-to-human relationships. Now, I've always preached about the therapeutic benefits of having a companion dog. And even in this article, it speaks of its top 3 suggestions for therapeutic uses for a sex robot. They say their top 3 uses for therapeutic benefits would be for people with social anxiety, people who do not have a partner but still want a sex life without resorting to fleeting acquaintances or prostitution, and people with premature ejaculation problems, according to sex therapists. So even they admit that there are some therapeutic benefits to having a companion dog, or in their case, a sex robot. I just thought that was a nice little bit of information to throw in. Later on in the article, a woman named Maddie McCarthy, an associate with law firm LK, which I'm not familiar with, she basically says that legislators will have to balance competing and complex individual and public interests, which pose new ethical, regulatory, and legal challenges because of advancements in technology. And they go on to talk a little legal jargon and whatnot, and basically she says that, hey, don't worry about it. Even if you get caught with one of these adult companion dogs or companion robots or whichever one you have, don't worry, your sentence will be lighter than normal. What? I'm not happy that they're talking about that the sentences will be lighter than normal. People shouldn't be regulated on a companion dog or a companion robot. So that's upsetting to even know. So no, it does not make me feel better that the charges will be lesser for owning a companion robot or a companion dog. That's an adult, mind you. The last subject this article really mentions has to do with an associate professor named Tania Lyman, the Dean of Law at Flinders University. And she basically says that there is a real potential for technology to objectify and promote sexual violence. What she doesn't understand is a companion dog or a companion robot will relieve sexual tension. It will relieve sexual stress. It wouldn't create sexual stress. If anything, I believe having a companion dog would decrease the possibilities of sexual crimes happening against women out there. Because you would have men that are satisfied being at home with their dogs. They won't have all these raging hormones and raging thoughts of being lonely and being frustrated by it. Now, you do have some men that have companion dogs and are still unhappy. And they have different problems that they have to sort out. But for the most part, I see happy story after happy story after happy story. Because these dogs can heal your mind, your body, and your spirit, not just your loins. All in all, my synopsis is, I don't believe governments or lawmakers should get involved with the intimate decisions of adult citizens, unless it's a matter of national security or unless they can prove it's something very harmful to the public from a programming standpoint. But other than that, they should allow adults to make their own intimate decisions, and I just believe that that's going a step too far when the government enters the bedroom and tries to make decisions about who adult citizens should be making love to or being in relationships with. With all that said, we hope you guys enjoyed part 2 of Robot Love. We love you guys to hit those subscriptions and notifications. But for right now, me, Jada King Hefner, and the beautiful Secretary Tsunade Star, we are